So now let's start working on this CreatePost component. So inside here, I'm going to import the use state and use ref. Also, we're going to need some components from semantic React. So from and semantic React. So we're going to need form, button, image, divider, message, and icon. Also, we're going to need our function to upload pic to Cloudinary. So import upload pic from utils and upload pic. And inside this function, we are going to have a state for the new post and set new post. It is going to be an object by default. So use state and text is going to be empty strings and location is going to be empty strings. And we are going to have a loading state. So loading and set loading. It is going to be false by default. And also we are going to have an input ref just like we had in our sign up page. So we are also going to have drag and drop on this component right here. And we are going to have an error state if there is any error creating the post, null. And we are going to have a highlighted state. So const highlighted and set highlighted. And just like we did in our sign up page, if the user brings in the image inside the div, we're going to set the highlighted to true. Otherwise, it is going to be false. And media and set media, null, and the media preview and set media preview. By default, it is going to be null. And we are going to have a handle change function for the inputs here. We are going to receive the event. And let's destructure out the values from our e.target. So we are going to receive name, value, and files. Again, it is the same implementation just like we had in our sign up page. If name is equals to media, we are going to set the media to files and first element. And we are going to set the media preview url.createObject URL, files and first element. Otherwise, set new post previous. And we are going to return object here, spread the previous, and name is equals to value. So now inside the return statement, we are going to have a form here. First of all, let's add some fragments. Inside here, we're going to have a form. It is again going to have error prop if error is not equals to null. And then we are going to have on submit. I'm going to create a handle submit function for this. Const handle submit. And we are going to receive the event. For now, I'm going to leave it at event.prevent default. And inside this form, we are going to have a message. And this message is only going to be visible if there is any error making the post. So error, and we are going to have an on dismiss on it. It is going to be a function and set error to null. And the content is going to be error and header is going to be oops. So after this message, we are going to have a form.group. It is going to have an image. So for the source of this image, so inside this component, inside the props, we are passing in the user and set posts. Right here, user and set posts. So the user is the state of the user who is logged in. And the source of this image is going to be user.profilepic URL. And it is going to have a circular prop, avatar, and inline. So this image is this one right here. The user who is logged in, his profile image will be shown here. And after this image, we are going to have a form.text area and placeholder is going to be what's happening. Name of this text area is going to be text, and the value is going to be new post.text. And after this value, we are going to have an on change. So we are going to pass in the handle change function here. And the rows are going to be 4, and the width is going to be 14. And after this form.group, we are going to have another group. It is going to be for our location input. And inside here, we're going to have a form.input. Value is going to be new post.location. Name of this input field is going to be location. On change is going to be handle change. Label is going to be add location. And icon is going to be map, marker, alternate. Placeholder is going to be want to add location. And these are all the props going to be on this input. And after this, we are going to have an input field, the HTML input. We are going to have a ref on this. It is going to be input ref. And on change is going to be handle change. And the name is going to be media. And we are going to have a style on it. So we are going to set its display to none. Its type is going to be file. And we are going to accept images. So accept image. So after this form.group, we are going to have a div here. It is going to have a style object, inline styles. So we are going to set the text align to center. Height is going to be 150 pixels. And the width is also going to be 150 pixels. And we are going to add a border here. It is going to be dotted. And after this, we are going to have a padding top. So if media is equals to null and 60 pixels. So only if the media is equals to null, only then we are going to add the padding top. And the cursor is going to be pointer. And the border color, if highlighted is true, we are going to set the border color of green. Otherwise, it is going to be black. And inside this div, we are going to check for if media is equals to null. So if media is equals to null, we are going to show some JSX. Otherwise, if media is not equals to null, we are going to show this JSX right here. So if media is equals to null, we are going to show an icon. Name of this icon is going to be plus. On click. So we are going to open this input right here on this when we click on this icon right here. So we're going to use the ref input ref dot current dot click, and the size of this icon is going to be big. So this is going to be when the media is equals to null, and I'm going to remove these fragments here. So if media is not equals to null, we are going to show the media preview, the preview of the image the user has uploaded. The source is going to be media preview, alt text, post image. It is going to have a centered crop, and the size is going to be medium. And on click again, we are going to have an on click on it so that if the user wants to change the image, input ref dot current dot click. So after this div, we are going to have a divider. It is going to have an hidden prop. And after this divider, we are going to have a button to submit the post. It is going to be circular, disabled. It is going to be disabled only when new post dot text is equals to empty strings, or if it is loading. So after this, we are going to have a content prop, and inside strong tags, post. So it will make the text bold. And we are going to have a style here. So the background color I'm going to write a X code here, 1DA, 1F2, and the color is going to be white, and the icon is going to be send, and the loading is going to be loading. So our loading state. And after this form, we're going to have a divider again, but we are not going to add the hidden prop on this. So it will give a line underneath that. And also on this image, I'm going to add a style, inline style, and we are going to have a height of 150 pixels inside strings. And the width, I'm going to add 200 pixels. And make sure it is border color here. So it is showing border block, but we are going to have border color. And now let's see if it works. And now you can see our component is right here. And if I click on this and go to desktop, so our image is being displayed here. And our image is squeezed here. So let's make sure it is a perfect square. I'm also going to change the width to 150 pixels. So now let's add the functionality for drag and drop. On this div right here, we are going to have the event listeners for on drag leave, and on drop. So first of all, I'm going to remove this style object from here, and I'm going to create a function for this. And const add styles, and we are going to return an object from this, and we are going to call this function right here, add styles. So this will return that style object. And on this, we are going to have event listeners for on drag. So it is the same, just like we did on our sign up page. Again, we are going to e.prevent default, and we are going to set the highlighted to true. And on drag leave, again, I'm just going to copy it from here, and we will set the highlighted to false. And on drop, so when the user drops the file, e.prevent default, set highlighted to true. And I showed you on the sign up page, we get a file list, we do not get an array. So we're going to create an array from that. So const dropped file and array dot from e.datatransfer.files, and we are going to set the media to dropped file and the 0th element, and set the media preview url.createObject URL dropped file and the 0th element. So this will add the drag and drop functionality for a div right here.